Me resisting the urge to give a minimal tip when the writer refers to me as man multiple times. It depends on their intent. Like, if they look at you and they can tell that you're a trans woman and are misgendering you on purpose, give no tip. If they literally just don't know any better, like, because we can tell, right, what the intent is. So if they didn't intend to, yeah, I can understand resisting the urge. But if they're doing it on purpose, no tip. Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing some me IRL LGBT, which I thought would be a lot harder to say than it was actually. But that's what we're doing today. But you know the deal, before we continue, y'all gotta get hydrated. So grab some water or some tea, or whatever else you like to drink, and then we'll continue. In the meantime, also feel free to like and subscribe. Are you hydrated? Good. Let's go. The gag is so many cis straight women will come into queer spaces because they feel safer, but they hate extending that same openness the other way around. They'll be all at the gay clubs and drag shows, but God forbid a trans woman comes into a woman's space. Like, the thing is, this wasn't even posted that long ago. This is from like the 10th of March or something. Why? Why is this still a thing? Because originally when I read it, I was like, oh yeah, this is like giving 2015. But no, actually people are still like this. But why? Like, I get wanting to feel safe, obviously. Like, I'm not even coming for it. But why wouldn't you want other people to feel safe as well? But no, you just want to make it unsafer for trans people without realizing that ultimately that's also gonna backfire on you. Like, forget being a kind person and respecting other people, right? If you can't even manage that, how are you also ignoring that it's gonna backfire on you? Male condom, female condom. Damn, women be having fat cocks for real. I mean, some do. And if they need big condoms, you know, we're not gonna come for it, but you know, maybe you don't need. But to be fair, like, I've never actually seen like a women's, for like cis women's condoms in real life, so I think I prefer the rhetoric of this meme of just being like, well, women just do be having bigger dicks than men. Transphobic reply on one of my posts. I look at the blog. Porn reblog accounts. Much of the porn is of trans people. Tale as old as time. Transphobic reply to one of my posts. Claims to be in the name of women's rights. Looks at the post. Cis man. Tune as old as song. But like, specifically the top one. Why? Like, as a cis man, why are you getting that involved in feminism just for the sake of being transphobic? Because we know a lot of cis men who only do it performatively, right? So why are you gonna stand there and bring up feminism only when it allows you to shit on other people? That's kind of strange, dude. But the top one specifically just makes me somehow way more mad. Like, you can fetishize trans people, but you don't want trans people to have rights. How does that work in your silly little brain? Like, seriously, how does that work? Picture of a cat looking visibly upset. She saw a man, ... Relatable. Like, to be fair, usually when pets are scared of men, usually it doesn't have like a wholesome background, but maybe she's just really not used to men. And instead of like the baby who gets really excited because this baby has lesbian moms and she's not used to men, so they're kind of like fascinating and new to her. having this reaction instead to just be like, oh, you're not like one of my moms. Oh my god, what the fuck? Seems entirely fair. Asexual person saying the horniest sentence known to man. Because why not? And then there's me. And then people ask me why I flirted with someone, and I didn't even know I was. I thought I was just like having friendly banter with this person, but apparently other people think I'm flirting, and now I'm just like questioning it like 2 years later, whether or not this dude thought I was flirting with him. I can't tell. I'm not going to ask him about it either, though, because I feel like that would be more awkward. But I do keep thinking about it. I'm getting called out at the sock store. Horny, lazy, gay, nerd. Get all of them and wear whichever one seems appropriate that day. Maybe take all of them because your mood was probably gonna change throughout the day, but you know, you could wear 2 moods at once, you know, like you don't have to wear matching socks. Like, it'd be kind of funny if you just wear these. Literally, if I saw you like at the gym and your pants slide up and I see these socks, I don't talk to people at the gym, but I'm gonna make an exception if you pull up with these socks. Voice training to have a feminine voice? No. Voice train to have feminine moans. Whatever gets you going, I guess. Like, listen, as an outsider to this thing, no one can stand here and tell you you're doing something for the wrong reasons. The wrong reasons are the ones that don't work for you. The right reasons are the things that do motivate you, and if having a feminine moan motivates you a whole lot more, then that is a perfectly valid reason, actually. And again, no one can tell you otherwise, because other people don't live inside your head. You know, like, they can't tell you about it. Lesbians are like, I don't know, do you think they're into me? And then this will be them together in public, just keep on touching each other, giggling together, holding each other lovingly by the waist and the neck, and just sipping hot tea or something together, wrapped in a lesbian flag. But literally, I don't care if it's a literal flag or if it's like a proverbial flag, because sometimes you do be looking at people and they're just like, that's gay, and I love that for you. Or in this case, that's very lesbian of you, and I love that for you too. But why can't they see the flag? You know, other people can. And I don't condone hitting people, but sometimes you just want to give them a light smack on the head so they'll maybe snap out of it and actually see things for how they are, you know? Don't do it. Don't hit the lesbians that are... They're able to clock it in other people, but they can't clock it in themselves. Don't hit them. Do poke fun of them, though, if you have that kind of relationship. I'm very much in support of that. Hey all trans femmes. Remember to safely unmount your penis, click the icon in the system tray, select your penis from the list of devices before going into bottom surgery, or you may cause problems with running programs and corrupted files. Hashtag trans advice. I'm not sure this qualifies as actual advice, but as much as it is a stereotype that trans femmes just work in IT or other things in that direction, I think a lot of trans femmes are actually going to really find this hilarious, and it's going to brighten up their day and just make them chuckle a little while they're maybe actually looking for actual advice, you know, to remember to not take the whole thing too serious, because yeah, being trans is kind of serious, unfortunately. Like, at the end of the day, it's kind of a silly little thing that you just are, but other people make it serious. But still, that doesn't mean you need to take it too seriously while looking for advice, I guess. Antifa says punching Nazis is self-defense, respect existence, or expect resistance. Doesn't really qualify as a meme too much, but just this. Also, if you print this on a t-shirt, it would be kind of ugly. But again, if I see you in public wearing this shirt or at the gym wearing this shirt, I'm gonna make an exception and talk to you because you seem like a cool person if you put this on a shirt. To think I'd actually have to invent time travel to convince you. You convinced me of nothing. There were no signs. Okay, my past self is right there. Let me show you. Hey, are you a girl? I fucking wish. No signs, my ass. Like, for trans people themselves, as soon as you realize you're trans, you look back at your life and you see the signs. Wouldn't that, maybe less extreme, but wouldn't that also be the case for other people? Unless they're being willfully blind. But as soon as someone tells you they are, wouldn't you also maybe like look for the signs? Like if someone were to come out to me, I'd definitely like have to think at our interactions or the time I spent with them and just be like, actually, that really tracks. Because I do the same thing when someone tells me, someone I don't know her that well, but she recently got her autism diagnosis. And I sat there like, yeah, no, it just makes sense. So unless you're being willfully ignorant, some things just do make sense. And refusing to see the signs is incredibly annoying, really. The we can always tell crowd when they can't. Like, and then the worst thing when they're like, oh yeah, well now that you mention that this person is trans, I can see that. Like the cheekbones clearly show it. Like, bro. If you were to show these people random pictures or video clips of cis people, right? Of like a random TikToker or something you find, or a random person in the stream, it's like, oh yeah, no, I know them back from school, like they're actually trans. They would believe you and immediately try to pick out a reason that they can tell, when they literally can't because it's a random cis person. And that's the thing. Why would you? Why be so obsessed with it? You literally can't tell. Yeah, Uncle Roy, the tariffs. Oh no, all of it is just gone. Gotta push it back 5 years at least. You know what's funny though? If you hadn't voted against trans rights, you'd still have a retirement fund. Nuts, huh? Uncle Roy just screaming, yelling abuse. How's that phone call? Unproductive, but cathartic. I appreciate that you did this over a phone call because Uncle Roy does not seem like a nice person to be around. You know? But yeah, I feel like a lot of people are maybe in situations like this where they maybe didn't necessarily vote for a certain orange man because of his hateful stances, but because they were actually dumb enough to believe things would be better for them, only to now realize that they fucked up even for themselves. But again, why not be a good person, you know? Like, why would you go out of your way to try to make other people's lives worse? I'm really glad I don't understand it, but I cannot. I've tried so many times, I still cannot understand why you would be like that. Me, as a bisexual, having a crush on Elliot Page before he came out. Me, as a bisexual, having a crush on Elliot Page after he came out. That's literally kind of just a bisexual power move, to be just like, you thought you could like wriggle your way out of me having a crush on you? Nah. Like, obviously someone being trans or transitioning is not about anyone else, but it is kind of funny that way. The only biological advantage I will concede to having as a trans woman is that my tits are perkier because I simply spawned them later. That is probably fair. That will probably be an advantage over you, like for you over women who are similar in age. But that's basically kind of it. That's literally kind of it. Like, women, or people in general, come in different shapes and sizes. Some women will be stronger than others, some women will be taller, some might have broader shoulders than others. None of these are necessarily signs that someone is a trans woman. Because guess what? If trans women take estrogen, they lose a lot of muscle. Because that's kind of what estrogen does. It kind of puts them on the level they would if they were like born as a woman. Y'all. But anyways, that is an advantage for sure. I love gays, I support you. I love drag queens, I support you. Love is love, I support you. Instead of marching with them. Let us live. No, eradicate trans people, I support my far-right husband. Now all of a sudden that it's not convenient for you anymore. It's the same with like a lot of big companies just like pulling their funding from pride parades because it's not convenient for them anymore to support queer people, as if they never cared for queer people to begin with. You know, like a lot of companies and a lot of people showed their true colors really fast. You know, my 6'3" transbian ass, the tiny woman I tried to flirt with. Don't crouch down, because that's probably gonna look more condescending than you mean it to. Maybe just like lean against something to kind of make yourself seem a little bit less tall. Like, I know a lot of women like tall men. So a lot of lesbians probably also like tall women, right? So it might work in your favor, but yeah, if you want to be more on her eye level, you might have to like casually lean against something without falling over, preferably. Actually coming out of the closet, buy cutesy footwear and then wear it. Not so convinced of this. Continue to cope by hiding and drawing cutesy footwear, then imagine wearing it. A picture of the footwear, obviously included, because these are really cute. I would never wear these. But I can see why someone would. Because I know some people, like, whose exact aesthetic these shoes would be. Trans women or cis women, like, these are just cute shoes, really. Have you heard that weird rumor that if you kiss your elbow, you turn into the opposite gender? The next day, oh jeez, what happened to your arm? Almost there, just a little further, crunch. I tripped. That's all? Yep. Yeah, no, I tripped. I'm clumsy, you know me. Like, it's nothing else happened. Nothing at all. Like, I know some trans people are kind of desperate to transition, and I think a lot of us might wish there was like a magic wand or a button you could actually press to just be like, you know what, no. Because especially with waitlists and everything, it can seem to just like drag on for so long, and it does drag on really long for some people. So I can see why, but I don't think people would be desperate enough to break their arm accidentally or not. Decide to come out to my parents. Parents are fine with me being bisexual. They approve of the girl I like. Mom comes out too and tells me about her gay high school lover. I would probably be more shocked. Right? Like, it kind of depends. Like, with parents, I would probably be shocked. When my sister, who up until now everyone just thought was straight, suddenly mentions that, or like asks if it's weird that she likes feminine men but prefers it when women look masculine, like that she finds that more attractive. I'm not surprised, but with parents I would probably be more surprised and then really excited, probably. Me, after screaming every swear in the English language because my estrogen needle detached mid-injection, leaving the needle in my leg and spraying my thigh with estradiol Velterate. Almost lost my cool there. But just almost. Is it just me? Like, if you only know one language, yeah, you're gonna only scream in that language. If you know several languages, you're probably gonna be switching back and forth, right? Because I do that. Because I usually curse in English, but I think if something like this would happen, I would like go back and forth between English and German at least. Straight ships are boring. You guys don't understand the power that can be held in an MF ship when both the characters are extremely bisexual. first of all, shipping straight people because it's convenient, because you should be shipping them, you know, because they're like the main characters and the whole plot is them getting together. Boring. No. Just no. Shipping straight characters or something, or like two of your friends because they're together, fine. But I do see your point, because shipping straight people is all well and fine, but shipping bisexuals or other queer people just hits a little different. All lesbians should know the basics of trans feminine HRT. Why wouldn't you learn the recipe for more women? The lesbian adagina. Lesbian adagina girls. More of them. How to. Literally this though. Like, not even for like wanting everyone to be women. Like, trans people don't want everyone to be trans, but as a lesbian, wanting to make sure that the women who are women get to be the women they are seems entirely fair. Like, why wouldn't you want that? Really, why wouldn't you? My lesbian farmer girlfriend, or as I like to call her, my crop top. My lesbian electrician girlfriend, or as I like to call her, my power bottom. Okay, thank you for the best comment I've ever seen in my freaking life. I hate puns, but I will forgive you because it's still essentially about loving your girlfriend, and I'm very here for lesbians just loving their partner. I'm just here for it, so I will forgive you for the puns. The Fox News producer going into overtime to run that 12th trans athlete story to distract the viewers from the fact that the US economy is transitioning into a second Great Depression. But literally this. That's all it is. An attempt to control other people because they like to be on a weird power trip. Just a way to divide gaps between people instead of uniting them because it makes them easier to control. And just a big distraction and like scapegoat and just be like, oh no, this will fix all your problem. Everything that's wrong in your life, getting rid of trans people will fix that. When it in fact won't fix anything, it won't make anything better, and it's in fact just gonna make things like 300-400% more worse for actual trans people and for other queer people and for women. Literally, no one is safe and it's gonna snowball, but go off, I guess. Try to make things worse for everyone. Good job. Heterosexuality must be so fragile if politicians need to pass laws to shield straight kids from the mere mention of gayness lest they be turned queer. I am glad homosexuality is more secure. Despite being bombarded with heterosexual lifestyles, we avoid corruption and stay gay. Literally, no one is turning gay or turning trans if they hear about trans people or queer people and they're not those things. Like, if you're straight and you hear about gay people being able to get married, I mean, if you're a good person, you're probably going to be excited that they finally can, but it's not going to suddenly make you think, oh, wait, maybe I want to get married to the same gender. It's not going to make you think that unless you already are gay. Same as if you find out about trans people being a thing. If you are okay with the gender you were assigned, you're not suddenly going to be like, wait a second. No, I guess I have to transition now. Because no. Just no. But sure, no, we must ban people from finding out queer people are a thing. Because again, that's going to fix everything. Right? Right? Anyways, that was all the memes for today. I feel like we got slightly mad here and there because homophobes and transphobes just do be saying ridiculous things sometimes, you know? But if you've been here a while, I think you're fairly used to me being mad. And you're probably also used to you being mad at these people, so I think that's okay. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you hydrated. If not, maybe consider drinking something now, and I'll be back in a few days with my next video.